It has destroyed not only my self-esteem, also in a way destroyed my family and my marriage.
Residents of a Grand Rapids area long-term care facility are still coming forward after a report by the 13 Help Team first broke allegations of neglect.
Bobby and Kristen are wheelchair-bound and living at SKLD on East Beltline. Both say staff hurt more than they helped.
In Bobby's case, it led to what she says was a preventable amputation. 13 on Your Side's Charlie Tinker continues to follow this.
Charlie, still no response from SKLD?
Kirk, Juliet, no. I called again this morning and again got just a voicemail. We'll update you if they do respond to this story. The two women you're about to hear from told me there was a chance this would get them kicked out. Both said they would rather go homeless than continue on there, which says something about what they say. They're you're gonna see some photos. Some we can show you, some we cannot, because they are just too graphic in showing some of the damage Bobby suffered.
The expectation for you back at it in a couple of weeks, and instead
I'm still here.
You're still there.
With one limb less and in a wheelchair.
And just like that,
I'm never going to be the same as I was before.
Bobby Furman had to file for disability.
I was a junior Olympic swimmer. That's never going to happen again.
Because the life Bobby had built for herself
A year ago, I probably would have told you, oh, this is never going to happen.
was suddenly caving in around her.
If it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be here right now.
And the thing about Bobby's support system,
When we started talking about it.
the two already knew each other.
Okay, so that was you.
It was a total coincidence, as was the chance reunion that followed.
August of 2022, I was sent to SKLD on the East Beltline.
To get help with muscle weakness and trouble walking caused by Guillain-Barré syndrome, which Bobby says had damaged her nervous system.
Slowly, my foot started turning inward. I told them they need to put an AFO on, which is a brace that keeps your foot straight. I told them this in October. December came around.
Bringing with it a handful of hospital stays and the first of several surgeries on the 26-year-old's injured foot. She documented the ordeal with photos.
Here we go on January 11th.
The later pictures, though, Bobby may prefer to forget.
Doctor did not come in.
Because after, she says, staff at the facility on East Beltline did the bare minimum to keep the wound bandaged or even clean, they show an infection steadily spreading.
To the point where there was no real option. January 19th, 2023, I went for my amputation.
They just try to take anything from you. Your life, your sanity, your well-being, your purpose.
Kristen originally went there to get approved and fitted for a new prosthetic leg after her own amputation, and says the experience was
A major migraine headache and a nightmare.
That's because around 3 whole years into Kristen's treatment,
They're saying that my insurance keeps an eye on me. My insurance says that I've been approved. But physical therapy keeps telling my doctors I'm refusing physical therapy. How can you refuse something if you're not even getting it?
asking the same question himself, fiance Lewis made the trip from Colorado.
There's times she's been in bed, waiting to get up, even waiting to get cleaned up for almost 6 hours.
And there's even been times when she was on oxygen that they refused to get her an oxygen tank. And where he would go and actually go grab one.
Concerned for her friend's safety, even though Bobby wasn't yet out of the woods herself.
At least a week and a half, they refused to send me to the hospital no matter how many times I've asked to be sent because I knew I needed to go.
The rampaging post-surgery infection was by then already festering at the still open amputation site, creating complications tied to diabetes.
This nearly killed me this time, to where I was scared.
Because Bobby says skilled staff allowed it to get that far, not changing her bandages often enough and ignoring her. The 2-week stint in a hospital ICU nearly took more of her left leg.
Nothing's been done. The treatment hasn't changed.
Reporting process.
What grievance reporting? We say something and it's automatic backlash and we get in trouble or yelled at for it.
Bobby tells me she's tried to get out, be transferred into another facility and better prospects. But just like Tony Traxler in the first story, she says she never even got confirmation the facility had received her paperwork.
Residents have to stick together just to get by.
They're leaning on each other.
This is not a life. And truthfully, no joke, I don't call it skilled. I call it hell. Because that's what it feels like. You're really living there, it's hell.
Was Charlie Tinker reporting. As he mentioned earlier, the help team has reached out to SKLD, but we have not yet heard back. If you need help with something, call 616-559-1313 or email help@13onyourside.com.